Elon Musk, hailed for changing the way we drive, celebrated for sending rockets toward the stars. Now the world's richest man is using his power to do something unthinkable. He's slashing funding for life-saving medicine and science, shutting down cancer and Alzheimer's research, solutions for childhood diseases. He's killing projects that save lives, and he brags about it, publicly, proudly. It's heartless. It's wrong. Elon Musk wanted to be the man who saved space exploration. Instead, he'll be remembered as the man who saved cancer.
Welcome to the Ken Harbaugh Show. My guest today is Stuart Stevens, a former high-level Republican operative and the co-founder of the Lincoln Project. Stuart, the Lincoln Project has really gone on offense when it comes to Elon Musk, and I wanted to dive into that strategy with you because as obvious it is, I think you guys are doing it in a brilliant way, and I just want to understand the end game. Is this about Elon Musk? Is this about class warfare? That's the warnings we're getting, right? What's the thinking?
Well, first, just to set the table, if Elon Musk keeps this up, we may have to go negative on the guy, because we really haven't started. Look, the idea that a weirdo South African freak would be the virtual president, acting as president, is not a difficult notion for people to find disturbing. And it goes to this larger issue of, I think, speaks for the Lincoln Project more or less, we believe the election was very misunderstood. It's being heralded as a turning point, as a realignment. I think there's another way to look at it. You had a incumbent president 40% favorable. No time in modern history has an incumbent party gotten more than 2% higher than the incumbent favorables of incumbent president. She did a lot better. You had right track at 27%, 26, bouncing around. No party has ever won re-election to the White House when it was below 45. So you look at it and you say, okay, this was a race for a challenger to win. And we know, like when you see numbers with Nikki Haley on it, she did a lot better. Probably Glenn Youngkin would have done a lot better. So Trump was the challenger. So Trump won. That's not to be confused with an embrace of Trumpism. This is how people end up worshiping volcanoes. If there's a drought, the volcano belches, it rains, and the next thing you know, you're throwing virgins into the volcano to sacrifice to the gods. And I think that this is borne out by the fact. So there's only two presidencies in which the president was less popular 100 days afterwards than election day. Most of the time that people go up. It makes sense. Like, I didn't vote for the guy, but I want to give him a chance, right? Biden was about 60 at this point. Obama was like 68. Even Bush was 59, I think. The two presidents that have gone down are Donald Trump in 2017 and Donald Trump in 2025. So it's basically like, if at the honeymoon you're both talking to divorce lawyers, it's probably not a good sign. It's not much of a honeymoon. And I think that Trump, and the way candidates do, but Trump does this sort of, has confused winning with a mandate. So, we all kind of went, I worked for Bush in 2004. We won. Barely, people forget. I mean, Bush wasn't declared winner till the next day. If half the crowd at a Ohio State home game had changed, he wouldn't have won. And Bush took it as a mandate to change Social Security. His numbers plummeted. Followed by Katrina, he never recovered. Now, look, I think it's very difficult to imagine a scenario in which somebody gets elected president and says that they don't have a mandate. Like, all right, I won, but I know you didn't really mean it. I mean, it's a natural thing. But the idea that they've unleashed this extraordinarily unlikable, according to the Wall Street Journal, heavy drug user, it's terrible for Trump. And Musk is pulling Trump down. And the Lincoln Project, it's easy to give permission to people, maybe you voted for Donald Trump even, but you didn't vote for Elon Musk. And do you really like this? And I think that the split is inevitable. And when it happens, it will do much to disrupt and slow the advance of Trumpism. So that's the thinking.
How do you thread?
Plus, it's fun.
Yes, good. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. How do you thread the needle in terms of messaging in a country like America that doesn't have the same antipathy towards its oligarchic class that our peers in Europe do, or certainly around the world? I mean, until 10 minutes ago, most people liked Elon Musk, right? We tend to have a more favorable view of our billionaires. We see them as smart and successful than other countries do. I think it's in our DNA. How do you figure that in?
I don't think you attack Elon Musk for being a billionaire. You attack him for being a freak. Who's going to be more popular, Warren Buffett or Elon Musk?
Yeah.
It's not the fact that he has gained enormous wealth, though there is a fact that the reason he is enormously wealthy is Tesla. The reason Tesla is successful are carbon credits and EV rebates. So, no, it is a true statement, I think. No individual has personally benefited as much from American taxpayer dollars as Elon Musk.
Hey, it's Ken Harbaugh. Check out the new trailer for Valor Media Network. Together, we can take on Joe Rogan and his Manosphere Bros and win. Click the link below to subscribe to Valor Media Network and share it with a friend. Thanks, Midas Mighty. We got this.
There's not enough men like me who do whatever they want.
Are you sick of it yet?
Those people need to be, when we take power, they need to be given the death penalty.
The anger.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Cenk. I live as a capitalist.
The hate.
And we have a system of checks and balances. That's a good one. That's really funny. We do?
The idea that to be a man, you have to be a bully. Fuck you! We should be better than this.
Females don't have independent thought. They don't come up with anything.
Our kids deserve better than this.
It's like women want equal rights when it's convenient, but then they still want the door open for them.
So help us change it. Subscribe to Valor Media Network, where you can find shows on sports, men's health, and patriotism without the resentment and division.
True strength is about discipline, resilience, and service.
If you've wondered where all the positive role models are, especially for young men, check out Navy SEAL Dan Barkov and Commander Bobby Jones as they share stories of service and sacrifice.
Being good at being a man is about what you do for others and not what you do for yourself.
Listen to Jason Tander and co-hosts Ravi Gupta and Adisu Demisi give you the inside track on the politics of sports.
I just want to take back what I said about the Bills. No, because in all honesty, your team seems to have gotten the vaccination thing right. Okay. My team seems to be struggling with it.
These shows and many more from Valor Media Network prove that you don't have to be an asshole to connect with young men today. Subscribe to Valor Media Network today.
Well, you haven't even mentioned SpaceX, largest contractor. Like every dollar in his pocket is in some way. I mean, Obama was right? He didn't build that.
Look, if everybody hasn't read, and probably most hadn't, I only read it when I wrote this last book, there is a fascinating biography of Peter Thiel called The Contrarian. And, he's not written about a lot because he's so litigious, closed down Gawker. But this is a very it's fascinating book, vastly amusing. And it tells the story of how Peter Thiel, these two weirdos, Peter Thiel born in Germany but raised in South Africa, and Elon Musk, a South African, ended up in the same office building, both having made a little money, and both working on a variation of what would become PayPal. And Elon Musk, someone on his small office staff, finds the business plan for PayPal in the dumpster behind the building. And they literally were there and did not know both were working on the same thing. So according to this, Musk basically muscles his way with Peter Thiel, like, I can blow this up or we can work together. So they decided to work together. They launched PayPal. Now, PayPal was basically a vehicle for pornography and drugs. And when they finally hired serious people to work for PayPal, there's a scene in this book where someone, I think it was an former FBI, comes in and goes, the only question is when you're all going to go to jail, not that you are all going to go. Because it was basically constructed by conceit to be a bank to get around banking regulations. So, Peter Thiel was at Stanford, and he wrote this book with David Sachs called The Diversity Myth, in which, among other extraordinary things, they classify campus rape reported by women as could be just belated regret. So you have these two misogynist. Sachs is a South African, and they were very involved in the Stanford Review, which was, as sort of was in vogue at that time, a conservative publication like the Dartmouth Review, where a bunch of people came out of. He started PayPal. He brought a lot of these people over from the Stanford Review into PayPal. So when serious business people got involved, they're like, what is the comments editor of Stanford Review? Why is he like our business manager? But they all became really, really wealthy. So it's sort of a social experiment. Well, if you took a bunch of weirdos putting out this misogynist magazine that talked about belated regret for rape and gave them lots of money, what would be the social impact? Well, it's pretty bad. I could make a case that the accidental wealth of PayPal has done more to rip apart the American social fabric than the accidental wealth of cocaine did in Colombia.
Hey, it's Ken Harbaugh. That was part 1 of my interview with Stuart Stevens, co-founder of the Lincoln Project. I cannot wait to share part 2 with you out tomorrow. Stay tuned.